Hi and welcome to Update 9 for the Cheltenham Festival 2020. In this videos I put up my view, my bets, 6 in 2018 festival, 7 in the 2019 festival, 4 so far this current season 2020 festival, and 2 bets this season during the season, 1 for the Welsh National which won at 20-1 and 1 for the Dublin Festival which won at 8-1. So in today's video we're going to have a quick rundown of Shishkin, Chantry House, Altior, Native River. I'm going to talk about our bets, one of the bets and a worry for our bet, new subscribers, prices, and depending on how long I ramble on, maybe about taking Nicky Henderson with a pinch of salt at times, and the nearest thing I have to a bet at the moment, but it's certainly not a bet. So anyway, we'll get on with it. And Shishkin was an impressive winner of the Sydney Banks. What did he beat? Shanblue's okay, but a lot of these Henderson horses, they tend to go into races where they don't get much of a battle, they don't get much of a fight, and it's hard to judge what they've done. He's into 11-4 favourite for the Supreme Novice now. If people think his form is better than Asterion Forlange and Abracadabra, that would be up to them. He has the potential to be better than him. Not sure his form is, but he has the potential to be, but it's very difficult to say with him what he is or how good he can be. It's very similar with Chantry House. He was the novice I put up as my exciting novice. I put him up before he even ran over hurdles. He was highly impressive yesterday as well, but he didn't beat anything either. I mean, his opposition was even poorer. I can't say there was any horse in that race that you would probably look at and say, well, he's beaten this or he's beaten that. He's beaten decent horses in his previous 2 races. He's got Cheltenham experience, and he's a good horse going forward. More than that I can't say. They're both like boxers coming through the ranks. They're beating poor boxers who aren't laying a glove on them, aren't defending themselves well, aren't throwing out good punches. They're certainly not going to get it that easy in the Supreme or the Ballymore or wherever they go. They're going to be in against streetwise horses that are going to know their jobs. They're going to throw out punches, they're going to land punches, and they're going to be a lot different opposition to what they've been up against so far. They really haven't raced against anything, either Shishkin or Chantry House. They have the potential to be anything. In the game spirit, Altior won really nicely. He'd have loved that ground. It was his perfect scenario. He's won really easily. But so have Defi and so have Shishkin Poursois on their debuts, on their prep runs. So there's no saying which is going to win. I suppose there probably has to be a slight doubt about Defi running now because Altior's come back. But it's a race I wouldn't be able to call. It's far too tight for me. Even if it was just 2 of them out the 3 run, I wouldn't know which one to back. But Altior came right back to his best. But it's taken a long time to get over this race against Cheltenham, and that's something I'll get on to later in the video. Native River, that ground he wouldn't have liked so much. His chance in the Gold Cup, I think, will depend on the ground. The softer the better for him. I think the better the ground, the less chance he has of keeping up with horses like Lost in Translation, Santini, and the like. And the softer the ground, the more he's got a chance of running them into the ground. And I think he's an absolutely ideal Grand National horse. Whether Tizzard will go that way or not, I don't know. But that's the 4 horses that were the main Cheltenham horses that ran last week. Our bets, we'll go through them quickly. Lost in Translation for the Gold Cup is slightly bigger price than what we'd like, but you'll still give us a run for our money, I'm sure. Dolcita was beaten in a Grade 3 Mayor's Hurdle. I thought it was a poor run at first. Looking back on it, maybe she hurdled too poorly to get herself into the race. She'll have to hurdle a lot better, and she'll have to beat the 2 that beat her. So, yeah, a bit of a challenge in her hands, but she was definitely the Malins' third third string on the day and she ran like it as well. Maybe she's got more to come. The favourite's been taken out of that race with an injury, and that's always the worry at this stage in the season. Preps are starting to be upped. They've just had their last runs, and like a lot of horses will come out, and you've got to be so careful of being sure you're on a runner. So yeah, don't be putting too many anti-post bets off at this stage in the season, because it's just almost a daily thing that something's coming out. The Dolcita, yeah, and then Honeysuckle, 5-1 for the mares. That looks good as long as Honeysuckle runs in the race. It's going to be a lot of toing and froing between now and the Tuesday, this festival. Where will Benny go? Where will Honeysuckle go? Will we get a run for our money? I can't say. And it's not worth having the debate about. Like, it's like when you're at sea wondering how bad the weather's going to be. You're just going to have to wait and see how bad it gets, and that's all it's to it. And with Honeysuckle, we'll just have to wait and see if this is where they go or not. The final bets on Riders on the Storm, the Ryanair each way at 16-1. My only worry about this, I really like this bet, but my worry about it is that he's going to race against Cheltenham. We've seen how long it took Altier to get over the race. If he goes out there to try and beat Cheltenham next Saturday, then we can forget the Ryanair. If he goes out there to just run round for second place and have a prep race, well, all fair and good, but it just depends what happens this Saturday. Now, I don't like the idea of having such a tough prep. I mean, this is the top rated chaser in the UK, and we're going out to try and run against him in his backyard on conditions that he'll like 3.5 weeks before the most important race of our season. I don't like that prep at all, but it's not me that's running the show. Maybe they're going to try and beat Cheltenham, and the Ryanair isn't the actual aim. Who knows? So yeah, that is a big worry with that horse, but we can do nothing about it. Hopefully he runs a good race next week, but for me, I'd rather he didn't run at all. So we've got quite a few new subscribers watching for the first time, or maybe they've watched all the other videos and just subscribed. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, just means you get an email saying when the video's out. And hopefully some of the people that have subscribed have had some of the success we've had. It is a worry when new people join and you've had such a good run that can you keep it going? I hope I can. It's going to be very difficult to match up to the Welsh National winner at 20-1, and then the only bet at the Dublin Festival being an 8-1 winner as well. It's going to be hard to keep that sort of run going with profit at 2 festivals as well. But I am backing them. I want them to win. I need them to win, and I'll be doing my best. I spoke to one of my friends who has been watching the videos, and he was talking about the prices of the horses, and it is very important to get the prices. Just a quick thing on the prices is that if you'd managed to get 10-1 Asterion for launch instead of 8-1, even at the bet I talked about, the £10 win, the £10 each way, that made a £44 difference in the return if you got 10s or 8s. So it is really worth trying to get the best prices if you can. So with any of the other bets, obviously it's hard to get the best price, but if you can and if you have all the accounts, it really makes a big difference on any bet that you put off, that you get the best price. So I've spoken about Henderson's horses. He does tend to put them into easy preps, easy races where they don't tend to get battle hardened, and like I've said about the Boxer, it does make their job a little bit harder come the big day because they're used to getting things easy, and when they have to battle, it's a bit more difficult for them. An example of that could be Champ last season, where he's come into the race, he's not been used to battling, and as soon as City Island put it up to him, he didn't want to fight and he's got beaten. So you have to be very careful. Henderson does talk his horses up a lot, and that's why they tend to be a bit overbet. I've nothing against Nicky myself, but I do watch the prices on his horses with regard to getting value, because he tends to talk them up, and it's very difficult then to get a value price on his horses. And if you look at his winners from last season's festival, although Altier had the form and was obviously a champion chase grade 1, and we knew that already, the other 3 winners were Pentland Hills 20-1, Beware the Bear in a handicap at 10 to 1 and William Henry at 25 to 1. They talked up horses like Angel's Breath, Champ and all the others, Birchdale, Rat Hill, all the others supreme horses that he had. They did nothing. So be careful when you want to be backing Shishkin at 11 to 4 or Chantry House at 8 to 1. Be careful on his horses, because Willie Mullins, Gordon Elliott, they're putting their top horses out against the other top horses in Ireland, and Nicky isn't doing that. They haven't raced against the Big Breakaway, they haven't raced against Fiddler on the Roof, they haven't raced against the top horses in Britain. They're going in there after beating grade 3 horses probably at best, and now they're trying to win at Cheltenham Festival. So that's my view on last week's racing and a few other things. I'm watching all the videos that are being put up by other people. I don't put a whole lot of bets up. I don't put token selections up. I saw a selection being put up on Up in the Ante last week and I was horrified. I was horrified to see Shaklan Pursab put up as a each way as an anti-post bet at 5 to 2 against Altior and Defi Dissot. I can't see how that'll be a value bet, and I rate those guys. I think they're very good, but at the same time, if they're putting token selections up, that's just not for me. These are horses I'm backing and I'm trying to win and make a profit with them, and I will do my best in all the videos to put good horses up. So anyway, I've talked for long enough today. That's my view on the horses that ran last week. People always say, do I have a bet or am I having a bet? I'm not having a bet again. I have looked at a horse till I'm blue in the face. I wish I knew where it was going. I just read on Twitter someone saying about the horse Allaho for the RSA. Now, I would like that horse to go to the Marsh. If he went to the Marsh and I knew he was going to the Marsh, I would bet the horse. I don't want to bet him in the RSA because I'm not convinced about his staying power over that distance. I'm not convinced he'd be the best horse in the race, but I think he has the speed and stamina for 2 miles 5 and I would back him in the Marsh. He would be my idea of the horse I would be looking at the moment, but he's certainly not a bet until I know he's going there. So for now, I'll wish everyone the best of weeks. I'll be back next week. The updates will continue. The numbers were great last week, but something is wrong with the count on update 7. So we'll continue to look for winners. If I have any bets that look like another season bet, I'll be putting it up probably on Thursday or Friday. I would doubt that very much. This is my video for this week. It's been easy to make because Sunday's racing's been off. I like to get mine up first so that no one can say that my view's just been taken from someone else's video. It hasn't. It's always my view. I'll get back to you next week. I'll thank you for watching and I wish you a good week. Bye for now.